Hey guys, Gabe Suarez here from Suarez Tactics. So, boy, I'll tell you. So the rebuttal that we did on that stupid video junk carry from Wilson Combat, it got a lot of traction. I got a lot of emails and texts and stuff like that. A lot of them very supportive, saying finally someone is saying that the emperor is naked. Okay. Look, it's not my job to disrespect anyone, but you know what? Respect is not the same as worship. And I think there's a lot of ass kissing and a lot of worship in the gun community. I think that shit needs to stop, because a lot of the stuff that's being taught by some people is outdated and it's wrong. Okay. There are a myriad of better ways to accomplish things today. We've been doing this for my God, a quarter century now, and we're very open-minded, very aggressive format, in a way that everything is tested, everything is verified. We don't take anybody's word for anything, look, it doesn't mean that we think somebody's an asshole or anything like that. But you know what? If somebody comes out and says in 2024, the Earth is flat. Okay, those of us that know better have to stand up and say, no, you know what, you're wrong. Okay, that doesn't make you a bad person, but you're wrong about this. Okay, here an example. All right, so the late Jeff Cooper was a very good friend of mine, wrote the foreword for my book and everything else, and he was a very ardent proponent of 1911s and Weaver stances and the whole concept of the modern technique and all that sort of stuff. That's great. You know what? And that was a launching platform for a lot of the stuff that I do. But I don't teach Weaver stances. I don't carry a 1911. I don't do any of that stuff. Why? Because I found that there is a better, more efficient way to do things than, the way that it was done in the 1980s. Okay? All right. One of the things that was discussed in the Wilson Combat video was ready positions. Okay? And, according to Mr. Hackathorn, there is one ready position. There are many like it, but this is the one. Right? We all know it. It's called the low ready, and this is where it has to be, and all that kind of stuff. Well, listen, what is a ready position? What is a ready position? A ready position is a preparatory position for fighting. Okay? Now, I am not an advocate of drawing your pistol and walking around doing all this kind of business. Okay? I am a proponent of keeping your pistol holstered up and covered up until it's evident that you need to draw it, you need to pop somebody's grape with it, okay? And then you do it. And then when you're done, what do? You put it back, okay? You don't stand around holding the gun, like it's some sacred talisman or something, okay? You bring it out, you use it, you put it back. Just like the samurais used to do. You didn't see Toshiro Mifune standing around with his sword smoking a cigarette. Okay, he brought it out, slashed the bad guys, cleaned it, put it back, end of story. Okay, that's the way the pistol's used on the street. Okay, standing around with your pistol in your hand is a foolish thing to do, because you could get mistaken as somebody else by someone else. Okay, so these are the ready positions that I teach. Okay, remember, they are preparatory to fighting for the most part, because if you're not getting ready to fight, why is the pistol in the hand in the first place? It should stay in the belt or in the holster. Okay, there's categories to ready positions. Okay, there are engaged ready positions, meaning that you are engaged with an adversary and he has done something that has scared you enough that you drew your blaster in the first place. Okay, all right. There are pre-engagement ready positions, which we will discuss, okay? And then there are covert or concealed ready positions, which we will discuss as well. Okay, so the first one, okay, the engaged ready positions. Now, there's a bad guy there, and I'm running my old 5906 here, right? Because I can. All right, so there's a bad guy there, and he has done something that scared you enough to draw your pistol. Now, here's the thing, okay? If he had a weapon pointed at you, that's not a call for ready position. That's a call for pressing the trigger, blowing his anyway. So that's a call for shooting. You know, if he's shooting at you or someone else, that's not a call for ready position. That's a call for taking action, okay? So 99% of the time, when you draw your pistol, you're going to draw and you're going to work the trigger, okay? 99% of the time. There is a small percentage of time where you will draw and you haven't had enough justification yet to press through on that trigger. And that's what ready positions are for in the engaged category, okay? All right, now, nobody draws to a ready position. Everybody draws to the target, okay? So that's what we teach, all right? The less stuff that you have to learn and think about and remember, the better. So there's not, well, this is the ready draw, this is the target draw. Forget that stuff. There's one draw. Draw from the holster to the target, okay? Now, there are degrees of extension depending on the problem at hand, okay? So, for example, I have a target there. He has done something, and he says, you know, Gabe, I'm going to blow your head off. And he reaches in his pocket or something like that. Well, I'm not going to stand around, you know, like this, okay? And I'm not going to go down to low ready to see what comes out of his pocket, okay? I'm proactive, and I am on him right now. Now, I'm not necessarily on the sights. If I do it this way, maybe, okay? So you can see this is on the sights. This is off the sights. This is off the trigger, off the sights. There are degrees here, okay? There is no one ready position. There is a continuum, and it depends on the situation at hand. It depends on your level of apprehension. It is perfectly appropriate to point your pistol at an adversary with your finger on the trigger. Perfectly appropriate. Anybody that tells you that that's not so has never been in a street fight. Okay? All right, so point it in. Okay, this is on target. This is off target. Okay? But I'm pointed in. If I need to change this, it's a very quick change. And I can be on trigger or off trigger depending on my level of apprehension. This is what it looks like from the side. Okay? All right, now from here, I can compress this. Okay? Again, finger off the trigger at this juncture. Unless I'm jumped up close, then I'm going to go ahead and fire from here. This is my standard ready. This is the ready that I move through tactical environments with. When I check my environment, whenever I am not in a shooting position, like people say, okay, ready position. This is the ready position that I teach. It is the midpoint of the draw, and I can go either back here to a pectoral index like my good friend Craig Douglas teaches, or I can go to full extension. Either way, okay? All the engaged ready positions, engaged means you are in contact, are analogous to positions throughout the draw, okay? So if you were to take a video of a draw and stop it at given points, those are the ready positions that I'm talking about, okay? Now, with a double action pistol, okay, if you are being proactive and preemptive, there's no reason to do so double action. So I always do this on the draw. This particular pistol, incidentally, this 5906 was my duty pistol. This is the one I took to gun sight in 1990 and, you know, took top shot in the class and defeated an entire platoon of LAPD Metro guys running 1911s while Cooper was watching. Oh, kid, well. So anyway, thought I'd bring out a little bit of nostalgia here. Okay? All right. Pre-engagement ready positions. Okay. This is the sort of ready position where, all right, you know, you happen to be holstered up. You get out of your car, you walk up to your house, and you realize, oh, shit, my front door is open. Gosh, did I leave it unlocked, or did a bad guy go in there? Okay, now, there are those that would say, oh, no, this is the time to run away and call 911. Whatever, if that's your thing, go ahead and do it. I think there's other people that would go, you know what? That's my house. I'm going to go see what's up, okay? All right, so these pre-engagement ready positions basically start off like this. This is where you start moving. Now, my preference, I like to do it that way, okay? This with my finger off the trigger is no different than a Glock, okay? So this is the standard ready position. Now, as I'm moving, my finger's off the trigger because I have no target at this point, okay? And I'm moving, and if I have a specific danger area that I need to concentrate on, I may point at it as I traverse it, okay? If I am on an upper level and I'm covering an area down below, I will be down here like this. If I'm moving through an area and there's an upper structure that I need to concern myself with, I will be doing this, okay? So here's a hint. The muzzle covers wherever you think the bad guy is going to be, okay? All right, so those are the engagement ready positions. Now, you notice that there isn't like, this is if the bad guy is down, if the bad guy is up, because it isn't like that. It's a very fluid kind of a thing. You orient your muzzle where you think the bad guy is going to be. Okay, so if you're moving through a tactical environment, you're searching an area, you're moving through an area, you are relaxed and you are adapting to what you see. And that may even include changing hands. Okay? Yeah, we do things a little differently. Why? Because we've seen a thing or two in the real world, and we know that this hard style Shotokan type shooting stuff doesn't work. It's too stiff, it's too rigid. You need to be adaptable, you need to be flexible and fluid. Okay? All right, now, covert or covered ready positions. What the hell are these? Okay, well, if you are moving through a crowd, for example, and you're like this, some jiu-jitsu guy's going to go, oh, here's my chance to, so you don't do that. Okay, check this out. Okay, you guys remember this one here? The Sewell position that Max Joseph invented? You notice how when I'm using something, I always give credit to the guy that came up with it. Okay? I think we need more of that in the gun community. So, Max Joseph came up with this when he was working with some folks in South America. Okay, now, what we did is we took this concept and we simply changed it around. Okay, this is the Sewell position, but with the hands covering. Okay, so as I'm standing here, a casual glance, no one sees that I have a pistol in my hand because I'm covering it. Okay, so I can move through a crowd like this. Think of how a guy, football player moves through the line holding onto the ball and stuff like this. Okay, this is the covered position. It also allows us to check the environment around us without showing that we have a gun, waving the gun around and all this kind of stuff, which we don't want to do. Okay, so right here like this, covered position. So when you see our class, okay, you guys come up, boom, 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 they engage, they come in here, they check left, they check right, they bring the pistol in here, they check the area behind them, and so on. When everything is said and done, they come right back up here, they finish the drill, and so on, okay? Covert ready is what we tend to call it because it hides the fact that you have a pistol in your hand, okay? The last one, I call it traffic stop ready or felony stop ready, okay? And all it is that I have the pistol down by my leg here like this, pointed slightly away, okay? And that's what we used to use back in the day in the gang unit when we stopped a G-Rite full of homies, we didn't want to escalate things. We knew everybody in there probably was armed, and we didn't want to escalate things. We just kind of want to see what's up, okay? And so, pistol would come out. We just want to, pistol's back here by the leg. We just walk up and go, yo, dog, what's up? Okay? Or, alternatively, okay, something like this, where you just kind of walk up and you're kind of checking things out, but guess what? Okay? Both of these are considerably faster than clearing garment and making a draw. Okay, we've tested on the range and everything else. All right, remember, there are things that are taught specifically because they make the life of a range instructor easier. Okay, not because they're better. The range must be a example or an analog of real life. Otherwise, the artificial world of the shooting range becomes real life, and you're leaving out all sorts of valuable, important things because they're inconvenient to Elmer Fudd, the range master. Okay? Anyway, so those are the ready positions. That's our take. If you come to class, that's what you'll learn. Okay? It's all very adult education oriented and so on. And you know what? And if I teach you something in class and you disagree, I'll just say, okay, tell me why. Convince me that there's a better way. And if you have a valid argument, you know what? I'll consider it because I got an open mind, man. I'm retired. I could care less whether, somebody comes up with better material. I've already done what I need to do. I've made my mark. Now I'm just doing this for fun. And if somebody comes up with a better way to do it, well, damn it, I'll go, that's a better way to do it, and I'm going to adopt it. Okay? That's the way we've always done things, and I don't see any reason to change that now. Okay? Anyway, so that's it. Suarez Tactics Ready Position video. Bam! Okay?